The second and the last group of the Banyana Banyana players will depart for New Zealand and the FIFA Women's World Cup today. They open their campaign against world number 3 Sweden in Wellington on the 23rd of this month. Our man on the ground is Thabiso Sithole. Thabiso, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I can see you at OR Tambo International Airport. Of course, I'm sure excitement is in the air. Yesterday, we saw the first group of the team leave. Talk us through what is happening there now.
Yeah, good afternoon, Unati. Good afternoon to our viewers, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. As you can see, these are just some of the pictures of the players. They're in line, they're getting their bags checked in, and as far as the World Cup's concerned, I must say, today the send-off was, even more happier. We started at the hotel, we drove through with them on the freeways, you had cars hooting at the buses that drove towards the airport. On the left of camera, obviously we can't, protocol says we can't shoot anything beyond and as far as the check-in points are concerned. But on the right of me, I'm going to try and speak to somebody. I'm going to ask my colleague Masabachi to come with me. We all know who this person is. She's the South African Sports Star of the Year. She's the #1 in as far as Banyana Banyana is concerned. Anil Lamini, how are you? We're currently live on SABC News, and I had to get you. I thought you left yesterday. I see you again today.
No, my other teammates left yesterday.
Speak to us. I mean, it's finally here. We are from here on in, it's settling in slowly but surely. You guys, you're on your way, and the World Cup is calling.
Of course, when you are called upon to serve for your nation, you need to honor to that, and that's where we are going right now. To the FIFA World Cup, the highest stage for women's football, and I'm incredibly happy.
I hope you make a lot of people happy. I'm going to move from here because a lot of your colleagues are here as well. Look, Unat and our viewers, obviously there's going to be a lot of pressure from these goals and as far as expectations anyway from the country. We saw yesterday, as I said, the first group left. They left under what was a bit of a heavy couple of 3 or 4 days. We're not going to go into that. That's not what we're about right now. Right now we're about this team of players. This is the final group, as I said, with the final players. Maybe let's speak to another face. I mean, Chemi Khatane. I know that we're running out of time. Khatane, how are you, ma? Someone. How are you? So we're live now on SABC News. We just want to say good luck to you guys, and this is the last group of athletes or Banyana Banyana players going to the World Cup. The excitement, has it settled in yet?
I think it'll kick in when we get to New Zealand. We have a long trip, so you can't say you're like excited. It's a long trip, and I think once we settle in New Zealand, that's going to be, kicking in a lot of our minds to say that we are here. Everything else has passed, and we are here to play football.
I was speaking to Coach Des yesterday, and I asked her, where does the pressure start? Does it start once you walk onto the field and kick the first ball, or does it start when the mind is still grinding or thinking about that first kickoff?
To be honest, it started after the 2019 World Cup because it's a journey we've been preparing, and we are almost at the final destination. So it's just us thinking and, reminding ourselves of the last 4 years. How has it been for Banyana? How have we grown, and what do we think we can do? And I think, like I say, once we get there, it will be just the finishing touches of we are here. The tournament is starting in 15 days, 16 days. That's it.
Expecting a lot of goals from those feet?
I don't want to promise the country things that I want to. To be honest, we are in a very tough group. One game at a time. We're looking for points, obviously. We want to get out of the group. And I think that's what we are going to focus once we settle in Australia.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Well, not as you can hear, I think it's probably a good way to think about this. One day at a time. In fact, Coach Desri said yesterday, if you want to eat an elephant, you don't eat it in big chunks. You take it one small bite at a time, and that's what, as you hear, Banyana Banyana plan to do at this World Cup. One game at a time, hopefully make it out of the groups first, and then obviously the bigger stage, the knockout stages, and hopefully we see them in the finals. And they've been saying, if South Africans can make it down under, please come and wave the flag and wish these goals the best in as far as World Cup's concerned. In fact, I'm just going to try and steal Tulakhanyo Khawshubedi quickly. He's from South African football players. Tulakhanyo, I'm sorry, we're running out of time, but I had to bring you in. These goals are fine. Last group of Banyana players going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Are we happy?
No, we're more than happy actually. We're happy because they are happy. We're not happy simply because or by default. Let me just say that. And I think they are ready. They are well prepared because all other issues, underlining issues have been addressed, and we're expecting them. We'll see them on the 20th here with the gold medals and stuff. So we're happy. We're very excited.
I know this. I mean, as we're making this, doing this crossing, this is not about the politics behind it. But since we found you here yesterday, I know there were some other issues that were going to be ironed out between SAFA and the ministry. Have those been sorted out? I know that I remember during the press you said dotted line. That's where you want to see it. Talk is cheap. Are you guys happy as a SAFA Football Players Union that the impasse of the past 5 days will not happen again?
Yeah, well, that's the impasse that was never supposed to have happened in the first place, and we're hoping that we have learned the lessons, because without us learning those lessons, then we're going to have a very, very serious problem. But we agreed that there were two processes, as you would have agreed, that we've got contractual issues and those issues that we must address and really implement, because, sometimes we talk about in actual, we're paying lip service. We'll do this, we will do this, we do this, we'll do that, and we don't get to those particular things. But we're hopeful that with the mediation of the Ministry of Sports, we'll then be able to sit down and agree as to what's happening. But these discussions must take place. They must continue. All of us, it's in the best interest of football, and we must ask tough questions. We must not worry to say, no, we can't talk about succession, we can't talk about leadership of football and the development, and we just keep quiet. And we cannot be happy that the issues of parity are not properly addressed.
We're running out of time. We have to go back to studio. A message from the South African Football Players Union to these athletes who are going to be flying their South African flag high.
Look, fare thee well. We have no doubt that they will represent us well, and we're wishing them all of the best. We'll see them in the final on the 20th of August, 2037. The nation is behind them. I have no doubt of that, and they will definitely give a good conduct of themselves.
Unathi, that's the word from the South African Football Players Union President Tulakhanyo Kgaushabed. We're wishing the ladies well, as we all are, and hopefully well. South Africa as a whole are doing the very same thing. The ladies, bags packed, ready to go. As you can see, they're all checking in. They're jetting off down under. New Zealand, Christchurch is where they'll first stop. They play Costa Rica around the 15th before, I think a couple of days later, I think 8 days later, they play the opening match of the World Cup against Sweden, third ranked team in the world. Back to you in studio.